Thanks for doing the interview. If you mind telling the
Of course.
audience a little bit about yourself.
My name is Patrick Hayes. I am a Cal State Fullerton Mahalo College of Business alum, and now entrepreneur here in Nashville, Tennessee. I own 3 businesses out here, on the design and build furniture, artwork, kind of the eclectic design space, if you will.
And that's some of the things that you've accomplished since graduating Cal State Fullerton. I know you said you opened up a couple businesses.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say so. We've got 3 successful businesses here in Nashville. We just actually 4. We just opened up our 4th in October. Kind of moving more into the restaurateur world. We just opened up a coffee shop out here as well. So, yeah, I mean, really just pursuing any and all creative entrepreneurial endeavors that make sense for us to do so. We've been working a lot in investing in real estate out here, buying a couple properties that allow us to have some passive income and not really do a ton for it, and support whatever whims that we have that week. So yeah, I mean, hustling, man. It's like ever since I left there, I'm just nose down grinding, keeping my ears to the pavement for any cool creative opportunities that come up in the creative entrepreneurial world. So
yeah, and how do you think Cal State Fullerton helped you out with those businesses?
I mean, I think the biggest part is just giving me the foundation to kind of understand what it takes to run a business. And I think one of the biggest, the program is a good overlay of kind of everything in terms of business, right? You get a little taste of marketing and finance and accounting and management. And I think it really kind of gives you that blanket overview so you can kind of go into it and not necessarily be an expert in one thing, but more so just understand how they should all work together and find the people to plug into those areas and know how they should perform in those areas. And I think that's been kind of the biggest thing that's really helped me, is just kind of an understanding of what needs to be done on a holistic level to run a business, to run a successful business. And yeah, I mean, it's just been a good baseline, if you will, good foundation.
Yeah, it's interesting too. I hope to own businesses in the future as well. And to look back at before I transferred to Cal State Fullerton, my knowledge about business was so minimal. You don't really think about the whole aspect of it, and you're trying to be an expert in everything and bootstrap your whole business. But they really teach you like tips and tricks to run a successful business and not be a slave to it as well, as you said, hiring the right people.
Yeah, I mean, that's tough, right? It's, I think of any startup, it's like you're going to be in the weeds, so to speak, but knowing when you're at the level or the place to be able to kind of like start to pull yourself out of it and start to plug people in that are better than you, frankly. You know what I mean? Like if I was the best at every position in my company, why do I need somebody else? But the reality of it is, like, as an entrepreneur, I think even more than just understanding how a business should work, your biggest thing is just like, what's your vision? Like, you're the guiding light, if you will. I mean, not to get all philosophical, but like, you're the one planting the flag in the ground, 10 miles down the road. And so, everyone can show up every day and, do accounting or do production in our case, or marketing, et cetera. But if there's not somebody saying that's where we're going and here's how we're going to get there, then you're kind of all just wandering aimlessly. So if you can understand that, I think, and pull yourself out of the business when you're able to, and plug those people in that can kind of hold those positions down for you, and you can focus on here's where we're going and here's how we're going to get there, then I think that's that's the role of the entrepreneur. I think that's the role of the business owner. Is you should be able to direct in that regard. You shouldn't be the one necessarily in it doing it all the time. You got to be the one that's like helping to point the direction you're going, you know? So.
Yeah, definitely. Would you say there's one, defining moment that kind of, stuck with you throughout your years once you graduated in your classes?
Yeah. I mean, listen, I think that, I don't know if there's one defining moment. I think there's probably a couple different elements of my experience there, which was, not only the friendships that I made in these classes and getting around people that, also think creatively about businesses. But, I mean, man, I think some of the most impactful projects that we worked on there were the ones where we could actually come in and create a business from nothing. It kind of not only taught you to like think creatively about, okay, how can I look for an opportunity and solve a need within this market, if you will, but just kind of how to take it from start to finish, all the way to, from idea to fruition, if you will. I'm not gonna lie, I've never made a business plan out of college, but it taught me to understand what to look for. You know what I mean? Like I've learned that I'm an impulsive entrepreneur. Like I see an opportunity, and if it feels right and the people are in it, know what they're doing, and they'd make good partners, then, I commit to it. I think that's kind of, I don't know, like it's all talk until it's not. You can talk about it and dream it up as much as you want to, but you got to actually be willing to like commit and put the effort in. And I think that, understanding holistically what it takes to run a business from the program there, it kind of really, gave me the mindset to know that you've got to take it from start, or from idea to, full inception, if you will. But there's a lot of steps in between, and you got to stay diligent. It's going to take hard work. I don't know, man. I think a lot of the projects we did, specifically in JJ's class, surrounding like consulting for other businesses, and to get in there and see what other business owners are doing and understand how they're approaching what they do and the creative problem solving that they're applying to their businesses. It made it real. It wasn't just like a school assignment, it was getting in there with other entrepreneurs that are actually doing it and working alongside them. And I think that was really impactful and really special. And that's like probably one of the defining experiences that I took away from the program as a whole, that really, not only inspired me, but also, gave me great mentors to look up to that kind of showed me what it takes and the way you need to approach things. So
what advice would you give to a person seeking maybe an education at Cal State Fullerton's Entrepreneurship Center, or somebody who may want to start up their own business?
Be prepared to work your ass off. I mean, ultimately, be prepared to put in 80 hours a week for the first however many years. Like you just got to want it. It's like, it's not for the faint of heart. You got to be, willing and ready to take risks. You got to be okay with the uncomfortable nature of starting a new business. You've got to be passionate about what you're doing, and if that's not you, just save yourself the headache, like ultimately. And I'm not saying it to be pessimistic. I'm just saying like, it's not for everybody. And there are plenty of times after graduating when I was just starting my first business, this is basically the summer I graduated, in those first 3 years where it was like, man, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing? And I think you have to be the visionary for yourself at the same time you're being it for your employees, and keep that in the forefront of your mind. You have to be passionate what you're doing, because more often than not, if you're bootstrapping and hustling and you're not out trying to raise capital, because most small businesses are not that, you're not pitching to an investor. You're out there grinding you got to like make sure you love it. Otherwise you're gonna quit before you get anywhere. And I think if you are passionate about it and you've got the determination to make it work, and it obviously makes sense from a business perspective, then just don't give up on it. Keep grinding on it and be ready to pivot when the time comes. Yeah.
Great said. Great said. Well,
Thanks.
Thank you, Patrick. That's pretty much the end of this interview. Yeah. Do you want to give yourself a shout out to your businesses or anything so we can check it out?
Sure. Yeah, definitely. Check us out on the interwebs. It's 1767designs.com. You can also check out our furniture and design company, aberdeenstudio.co, and our newest venture, eleglycoffee.com. Check it out. And if you're in Nashville, look us up.